Welcome, YouTube friends and family. Frankies, what are you doing on the counter? So I guess we'll start this over. Holiday fruitcake, take 2. Welcome again, YouTube friends and family, to today's rather delayed adventures of the wellness homesteader. So, guys, I just want to apologize sincerely. I don't know why YouTube will not play the video that I had uploaded for Thursday. I did a live instead of, and guys, I've been on the struggle bus and I hate to complain, but it's the truth. So today I want to share, I'm calling it a family recipe, but it was not really invented by my family. I want to share a recipe for Christmas fruitcake. So this is a well-loved book. This was put out by the ladies group at the Dayton Baptist Temple, which is the church that I grew up in. And it is full of just really good recipes. Now, I thought the recipe for Christmas fruitcake was in this book. It is not. There are a couple no-bake recipes. Sorry, guys. That just doesn't sound good to me. I do know that it came from a lady at the church. So when the recipe circulated, everybody that wasn't trustworthy, because you have to realize that that particular belief system said, absolutely no alcohol, you don't purchase it, you don't cook with it, you don't have it in your home. So the lady that made up the recipe, or I don't know if it was her family's, I'm not sure. And I'm not going to say her name because I don't want to show any disrespect for her. Yeah. So if you were trustworthy, you got the true recipe, which for the liquid in the cake was half a cup of whiskey. If you were not trustworthy, or it was going on the church bulletin board, it said a half a cup of apple juice. So, you know, kind of a cute story. Christmas fruitcake. Yeah, Christmas fruitcake has been a tradition in my family ever since I have memories of growing up, right? Now, I do want to say, y'all, this is not a diabetic-friendly recipe in any way, shape, or form. So you may be like, why are you going to make it? I absolutely love fruitcake, but a lot of my family, extended family, who also loves this, are no longer able to cook it themselves. So my plan for it is to actually gift it. So this is considered to be a 30-day fruitcake. You do need to let it sit and mellow out. All the alcohol cooks out. And if y'all are not wanting to use the whiskey, I debated on that. You can certainly try the apple juice. I think a relative tried it 1 year and they were like, it was terrible. It wasn't the same. All right. So what are you gonna need? Y'all, this is kind of a strange way to make fruitcake in my guess, but we are gonna be making this in a great big Angel food cake pan, which God bless it, that was my mother's. It's been down a few roads. You're also gonna need a clean paper sack. You might be like, where are you going with this, Kym? So there are 3 areas of the Angel food cake pan that we have to line. First, let's start with the insert. So we wanna line the tube. We wanna line the insert, for lack of a better word to call it. And then we want to line the collar. So what I'm gonna do here is, I'll drop you down here and show you kind of what I've done with the bag. I've just cut the bag so it lays flat because we need quite a bit. So we're gonna start here with the round. And how I usually do it is just trace around it like this, and then this is kind of my starting point. Now, you may be thinking, well, how are you gonna get a paper sack to really stick and seal up the cake? Well, the answer to that, y'all, is lard. So this is kind of a messy job. what I'll be doing is I will grease each piece before I wrap the paper. Then I will grease the paper as well. Y'all, I can't tell you how important this is because it does sit in the refrigerator for so long that if it's not sealed up well, it gets double wrapped in foil and sealed in two, I just use grocery sacks because you want it to just totally hang out. So let me get cutting here. Where'd that flower come from? I'm not really sure on that. And I'll bring you back to show you the process. It's just really messy on the hands. So yeah, let me kind of get this redded up and then I'll show you what I've done. Stay tuned. All right, guys, let's get this party started. So this is what our very well greased brown paper looks like. Don't worry about paper off the top. Believe me, it's fine. So, as I said, guys, I've lost my recipe now. This is not a low-calorie dessert, but literally, this will last months in the refrigerator. And you slice it extremely thinly. So I will have one piece. That will be my treat. That's not going to kill me. So we're going to start out with 3 sticks of butter. Now the butter that I'm going to use, because this is not an inexpensive recipe to make and I want to use the best quality ingredients I can, is this Mother's Choice sweet cream butter, no color added. I buy it from Azure. Yeah, I mean, it's butter. The funny thing is, you need 3 sticks of butter. They're like short but fat. I don't know. Kind of like me. Oh my word, this should be Kym's Pride butter. Oh, guys. Sometimes I just have to make jokes at myself, especially as bad as I've been feeling this week. And I want to tell y'all, I try to never disappoint people if I make a promise. I had my doubts I could do this today. But what I will be doing, if you notice, like, man, you worked on that all day. Well, yeah, kind of might have to, because in between, I'm kind of laying down and just giving my body a minute to recoup. So this has been sitting out at room temperature. Obviously, it's like I need to be Inspector Gadget to get the butter open. Did y'all have a nice Thanksgiving? I'll stop being so derogatory here. I really hope so. You know, I don't think there's been a year that I've felt as supported by my friends and my neighbors. I had so many invitations to come have dinner with people. And you know, as it worked out, I was not able to really eat, you know, for Thanksgiving. I did have a rough day yesterday, even though I got the live in. And my sweet next door neighbor, Grace, and her mom made sure that I ate yesterday because I've been having a real hard time holding anything down. And guys, yes, I will get the medication adjusted. It's just too strong, I think. That might have been the best food I've ever eaten. I didn't try any of the meat. I just couldn't. But I had some delicious homemade green bean casserole. The best deviled eggs I've had in my life. Those will show up on my channel. Some mashed potatoes and gravy and a little bit of stuffing. Now, it took me a few tries to eat a meal. Might have finished it up for breakfast. But that kind of helped me turn the corner till I felt like, okay, I've got a little fuel in me. It's going to stay down. Okay, to our 3 sticks of butter, which is a 1.5 cups, we're going to add our sugar. And it calls for 2 cups of just granulated sugar. Now, guys, because it's a little chilly, you probably don't want to see my ear like that, do you? It's a little chilly in my house. I may let this go a little bit longer because even though those have been out, they don't seem to be real softened. So here we go, 2 cups of sugar. Now, somebody may ask, Doggone it. Can't, and that's just my oven, which is preheating to 275. You can do 275 to 300. Miss Cindy over there, she is, oh, you know what's weird? You have to plug in your mixer for it to work. And I always wrap my cords. Okay, well, we're going to go to lift the bowl off. My goodness, I must not be thinking, oh, it's setting on the cord. Okay. Guys, this is real life production. See why I never cook live on my channel? It's bad enough with pauses in it. Okay, so my oven runs a little bit hot. And we are going to bake this for 2 hours. And you'll see why when we get to that point. All right. Wait, what? Hold that thought, guys, y'all. I've added my 2 cups of sugar and I'm creaming it in my butter. What was the problem, you ask? I have no idea. I unplugged it and replugged it. It works fine. So maybe I didn't have it plugged fully. So I am actually going to whip this just a little while until it's, you know, really light and fluffy. And then if you want to get your next ingredient out, it will be 6 eggs. Yes, 6. And my sweet girly girls, I just washed these. They lay some really interesting ones. Can you see the speckles? Sometimes they're speckled. The barred rocks are more the speckle layers. Miss Violet's on strike again. I love her anyway. All right, guys. Let me beat this up a little more till it's a little lighter in color, a little fluffier. Then you want to add your 6 eggs, one egg at a time, and I'll bring you back then. All right, y'all, we have a gorgeous, fluffy, light start to our batter. Now, don't be alarmed if yours isn't the same color as mine, because my chicken's free range, and they're highly spoiled. They lay some pretty orange yolks. All right, so the next thing we're going to add is we need 2 teaspoons of baking powder, not baking soda. And I'm going to add that now and give it a little whirl around, along with 2 teaspoons of vanilla. The reason I like to do this, pardon me, fighting hiccups, is I just feel like it gives you a better chance of having that baking powder really evenly distributed. And then a couple teaspoons of vanilla. Y'all, that smells like some Christmas goodness right there. All right, now we are going to start adding our flour. And we need just all-purpose flour. We need 4 cups. Now, y'all know my cup measure won't fit down in here, so I'm going to have to count this out. But you do want to add it, you know, like small increments at a time. I'll try to speak up. So I'm going to let half of that flour just kind of whirl around a little bit. Then we'll add our other 2 cups of flour, so 4 cups total. And then it's time to add our super top secret ingredient, which I can't stand the smell of, but we're gonna do the best we can. All right, guys, stay tuned. So our batter's getting pretty thick with just the addition of 3 cups. So I am going to add my 1/2 cup of Jack Daniel's Tennessee Sour Mash whiskey. I have no idea like what proof or anything it is. It's just hooch. That's what it's called in my family. So let me kind of scrape down the bowl. And you can see this does make a lot of cake batter, and we haven't even started adding all of our fruits and nuts. So, yeah, drop me a comment below. Anybody else hate the smell of whiskey? Whew. So, there will be no lick in the bowl. Yeah, this is gonna loosen it up a lot. I'm gonna rinse out this cup just so I don't have to smell it. And we will add our last cup of flour. Woo! Don't be so crazy about it, Kym. Floofing flour everywhere. All right. Oh no, I'm clanking my silverwares again. Oh well. That is life. Okay guys, once this gets mixed up well, now the party really starts. Now you can stir this in by hand. I'm gonna try, quite frankly, to let the mixer do the work. So let me show you what you need. You need 3 pounds of the candied fruit. So this is the extra fancy fruitcake mix. And I can leave a link. It came from Amazon. It's the only place I could find it. So it has more of a bitter taste. So it does have like candied citron. So it's not as sweet as some. So let's start stirring in our fruits. And if the mixer bogs down too much, I'll just have to do the end by hand. Already looking pretty. I think a lot of times why people don't like fruitcake is there is a lot of candied citron in it, which can be, in my opinion, extraordinarily off-putting, very bitter. Also, I tried to look at some recipes, and sorry guys, I'm not liking smelling that. A lot of the recipes I saw had a lot of spices in it, and this does not. It's like a vanilla pound cake with yummies in it. The second thing I'm going to be using is a pound of the candied pineapple. The smell does not improve with stirring. I think one of the reasons I hate the smell so much is when I was a little kid, a youngster, I wanted to taste the batter because we ate raw cookie dough. I live to tell about it, right? And I especially don't worry because I raise my own chickens, and so I don't worry about salmonella. I wouldn't eat eggs from a sick chicken, but anyway, I wanted to taste the batter. And Mom's like, "You're not gonna like it." "Oh yeah, I will, Mom. Let me taste it." Well, I nearly hurled because I just think it tastes nasty. I about can't even think about it. So that may be why it makes me sick to my stomach. Okay, guys, then the last candied fruit is a pound of cherries. I like to do half red and half green. And I'm gonna have to weigh out a pound of pecans. So let me get all that together, and we'll start filling the pan in just a moment. I think I'm gonna have to hand stir this. Why do I wear black on days I'm gonna mess with flour? All right, guys, I'll see you shortly. All right, y'all. I have the larger mixer from KitchenAid. I can link it below, but this was all I could do to get the fruit and nuts in there, but it looks really good. So let's see if we can figure out how to get the beater off. There we go. And all right, take this off. Let me do some hand mixing, some scraping, wash my hands. We'll fill up our fruitcake prepared pan and we'll be ready to go in the oven. Finally gonna get rid of the stinky smell, and it does not smell like alcohol when it cooks. My brown paper's not cooperating. So take a look at all of that fruit and nut goodness. So you do want to get this, fairly packed down in the pan, and this is how thick it is, guys. You can't see what I'm doing. Like I said, guys, I'm a little bit on a struggle bush today. So I'm just going around to kind of anchor the brown paper to start. Might be easier with 2 spatulas than a finger, but trust me, my hands are clean. And our second round. So yeah, I don't recommend tasting the batter. Unless you're a lover of whiskey, then in which case you're probably like, boy howdy, I'll lick the beater. But whew, not me. Okay. So should I ask my Aunt Susie if she can remember any more history about the fruitcake, because she also made one. And her husband was my Uncle Archie, and his twin brother, Uncle Archie, is who, my uncle that passed away in September, he was married to my dad's sister. So, yeah, a lot of fruitcake eating went on the Williams and Cottle side of the family. So you can see, guys, this makes a lot of cake. This is not something you cut like a wedge of, believe me. It's slivers. We are getting there. And it won't fill it clear to the top of the tube, but it'll come pretty close. So let me finish filling this. I'm sure you guys all seen it. This will be a recipe. We can't do a taste test yet, but I'm here to tell you it's delicious. But let me get the rest of this batter in, set it in the oven. Again, 275 to 300 for 2 hours until lightly golden brown. I'll bring you back at that time. Here we go into the oven. And I do recommend that you bake it in the middle of the entire oven, even if you have a split oven. All right, guys, see you shortly. All right, y'all. Look at our beautiful fruitcake fresh out of the oven. So as you see, there's some light cracks in the top. I baked mine at 275 for 2 hours, 10 minutes. You want to make sure that the cake feels done when you press on it, that it's not super jiggly. And mine was still pretty jiggly. It needed the extra 10 minutes, let me say it that way. So what do we do next with the fruitcake? You do leave it in the pan overnight. After overnight is over, you can remove the angel food cake pan, but you want to leave all the paper on, then double wrap it in foil, put it in a bag, plastic bag of sorts. I generally just use grocery sacks, and that works for me. My mom used to use like a trash can liner that was unscented, a little bit bigger. You want to put it in an area of your refrigerator that won't be in your way because it's a pretty big cake. And then about Christmas Eve, we'll be able to share and serve this. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Y'all, I apologize that I'm on this struggle bus. I promise I'm doing the best I can. Feel a little better now, but yeah, need to get that medication adjusted. So it's only once a week, so there's really nothing I can do until it kind of wears down. All right, guys. Oh, look at my hair standing up. How about that? Who's been laying down? That'd be me. So I'm just going to leave this on the counter overnight. And I may put a dish towel or something over the top of it overnight. But Hanky Panky Frankie's not prone to get into food like that. It's just, he's Hanky Panky, but not about things like that. All right, guys. Lord willing, next week will be a better week for me. And we'll do some fun things in preparation for the Christmas holiday. So, Lord willing, I will see you on Tuesday. Before you leave, do me a big favor. Go ahead and smash that like button. Drop me a comment below. Can you abide fruitcake? Or is it on your no fruitcake ever list? Or do you have a unique twist you'd like to share about your fruitcake? All right, guys. I'll see you next week. But until then, be healthy, be well, be blessed, and take care.